Welcome back to Geek Channel 8, GC8. I'm Eric.
I'm Will.
Today on the show, we are going to be talking about a, another Frankenstein film. We are doing a series on Frankenstein, and this one is an anime version of Frankenstein from
Mhm.
1981. Don't ask me to pronounce it. I think it's let's see if I Kyoufu Densetsu Kaiki Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how they pronounce it there in Japan.
I,
Exactly
I
how they
thought you were just
pronounce it.
playing it from the movie. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It is also known as the Monster of Frankenstein and Frankenstein Legend of Terror in English. The Monster of Frankenstein because it purports to be based on Marvel Comics' The Monster of Frankenstein.
No way.
So we're going to be
Really?
talking a bunch about comics today.
All right.
Awesome.
In my wheelhouse.
Normally we chat about various media we've consumed. I want to do something a little bit different. We're an audio podcast, so this may not work very well. But at least for you two, I'm going to do this and maybe cut this out later. I have collected comics from the time I was a kid, and unfortunately, like a lot of people, that collection got lost or destroyed, or stolen. I won't say which. And I started collecting again in my early teens, around 12 years old or something. And then been collecting, I collected all the way up until about the time I went to college. And then off and on since then, but of late in the new millennium, I have mostly been uh, only collecting like graphic novels because it's more bang for your buck, and it's like it's
No ads,
no
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I would only get they call floppies nowadays, the old comic books, on like free comic book day. I would go to the comic shops and grab a bunch, or like Trick and Read is a new thing they've been doing around Halloween every year, which and it's free
Mm,
comics.
nice.
But very recently, I started picking up comics again, and I realized that much like we do older films on the show, I'm into older comics. I really don't dig a lot of stuff from this century.
Oh, dude, there's some good stuff out there.
Oh yeah,
Truly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I have bought a blind box of comics from a used bookstore, and
Cool.
they it's semi curated. Like you don't get anything that's in like really bad condition or anything, and it's like $1 a comic. Obviously, they've pulled all their good stuff out
Sure.
already, and you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
stuff. But and with shipping, it's somewhere between $1 and $2 actually, because shipping's so expensive. But still, $2 a comic, you get 25 comics for less than $2 a piece.
Nice.
And the first box I got from these guys, like it had a Man Thing #1 in it, which on eBay sold for more than the whole lot. So I was like, I
Wow.
could just turn around and sell that, and it's paid
Wow.
for all the rest of the comics. But maybe I'll just hang on to it. Anyway, I liked it so much. Also, they were doing a raffle for Amazing Spider-Man number, I think 35, 39. It was the one where they reveal the identity of the Green Goblin.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So you got a free entry every for a giveaway for that for every blind box you bought. So I was like, I liked the first one, so I was like, I'll buy another one. It came today, and I figured I would open it here on the show.
Ooh,
We could see what
Oh,
I
unbox
got.
sweet.
it. Oh my God, I
Okay.
feel like a kid.
Yay. Let's see. What'd you
Their
get? What'd you
their
get?
whole thing is making comics fun again.
Yeah, yeah.
So they like
Well,
they
this already is fun, so let's go.
they curate it so you don't get total crap, but it's a mix of like it's a mix of stuff. Some of it's definitely not my jam, and some of it was awesome. So I'm tearing through the bubble wrap right now.
See, the only problem I'm having with this idea is that if they curate it too hard, you're never going to get a copy of Atari Force, for example. Okay, so
Awesome. Yeah.
which,
Yeah,
which
dude.
my selection is unfinished because I only have two issues. But this is the kind of things that when
Ooh,
ooh, let's see what you got.
Well,
this,
yeah.
as I wasn't even expecting this. There is a pack of Topps trading cards. It's
Oh
Batman.
Oh,
man.
sweet.
It's eight
Which
Batman
Batman 1 or
Returns.
2?
Batman Returns.
Okay.
Uh, Stadium Club cards. Eight, eight Batman cards. All right, so
Nice.
that's kind of cool.
Don't eat the gum.
It says thank you, Eric. Kindest regards, and then it says the woman's name. And there's like the little oh, there's the letter, and there's the raffle ticket for the Amazing Spider-Man, which they already gave away and I didn't win.
Womp womp.
But let's see what else we got here. All right.
More rapping.
Yeah, they do it right. Okay. So right on top is the Marvel Guide to Comics Collecting, which I have already.
Sweet. That's like an early edition one too.
Yeah, I have this in my collection already, a couple of these.
Nice.
All right.
Come on, Marvel
This is
Universe.
Marvel. It's Thunder Strike number 8,
Oh,
which
never
I
heard
don't
of it.
know anything about it.
Me either. No, that's a weird one. Okay.
I got the issue 8.
Meet Officer Zero. Will he save the city or destroy it? All right. Then Vision and the Scarlet Witch number 1
Oh, wow, dude.
Oh yeah.
miniseries. Oh, cool. This one's a Silver Age, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, 1972. So maybe early Bronze Age. It's Tarzan presents Edgar Rice Burroughs' Weird Worlds.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Bro, that's actually kind of right up your alley too.
I actually I've read a lot of Burroughs, and man, I read that Tarzan book, and there's some problematic parts in it, but man, for the most part, it was a pretty cool story.
We started this whole podcast doing Tarzan. All right,
Nice.
next up is World Finest Comics starring Superman and Batman.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Number 288.
Now, World's Finest, was that always them teamed up? Or was
Yeah,
it?
that's yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, there's a little bit of spine roll on this one, but not too bad.
And usually you'll get a Batman Superman story and maybe like a side story in the back.
Nice. I remember loving like what was it? Batman Detective.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was a time there was like 5. I don't know how many kind of are out now. Of course, he's still huge, but like there would be Batman Detective. There'd be like I guess Brave and Bold. There's all this different stuff that they would feature him with different groups. There was a time when he had Batman and the Outsiders. I remember when that came out.
Yeah,
all this stuff.
So the Inferno Aftermath, Atlantis Attacks, X Factor.
Wow.
So this
classic 90s.
Yeah, that's around the time I stopped collecting. All right. So X-Men number 265.
Nice.
Who's that on the cover?
It's Baby Storm.
Oh wow, no kidding. She's been through some stuff, ain't she?
Yeah, she's seen some shit.
What if the Invisible Girl had died?
Oh, I actually read that one. I might even have that one, I think. I love the old school What If comics.
Luke and Danny aren't on this cover because they're afraid of this man. His name is Gordy. He's very, very dangerous. Hard to believe, isn't it? Power Man and Iron Fist, number 114.
What?
Wow, cool.
Well, how high a concept is that? We're gonna put
We're just gonna be lazy this month, and
this is a special issue. I don't know why, but it's number 16 of the Omega Men.
Cool.
Mega. Wait, which
It was
I
a
lost
DC.
track. DC? Okay.
Yep. Oh, my friend Steve will be jealous of this. It's Moon Knight number 20 with the Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Oh, Steve.
Oh, cool.
This is worth framing just for the cover.
Yeah. Oh man.
Marvel Fanfare number 10, and it looks like it's Black Widow on the cover.
Black
Nice.
Widow, yeah.
Oh, this is thick. 80-page giant. Our Army at War presents Sergeant Rock's Battle Stars.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
25 cents.
I liked the Sergeant Rock comics.
It's got
Wow.
Lieutenant Jeb Stewart of the Haunted Tank, Gunner and
Yeah.
Sarge with Pooch, Sergeant Rock of Easy Company, Mademoiselle Marie, Ace Captain Cloud, Special Frogman guest star in a battle bonus story,
Oh,
featuring the Mighty Six and their greatest combat tales.
I
Nice.
love those.
Okay, we're only halfway through.
Wait, now I have a question though, because it's like, okay, so wait, GI Robot, was that's going to be Marvel or
DC.
DC.
That's
It's
DC.
DC, yeah,
Yeah.
DC property.
Okay, this is very appropriate for today. Creatures on the Loose featuring Man Wolf.
Yes, man.
Nice.
So this is early 1970s or whatever. Number 51, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Ooh,
Nice.
It's Mysterio. I love it.
Yeah, it's punching out Mysterio on the cover. Oh, and then we got an Amazing Spider-Man number 244.
Nice.
Pumpkin
Looks
Bomb.
like Pumpkin Bomb, so that's probably Hobgoblin or something. Spider-Woman number 39.
Cool.
You know, I never really jammed with that costume, but she's still.
Oh, here we have our first independent. First issue, all new, all occult.
Ooh.
Eclipse Comics Scorpio Rose, also featuring Dr. Orient.
Wow, that's Dr. Orient, you say.
Mm.
Okay, but the real talk, I've never heard of that, and I think that's very intriguing just because I've never heard of that one. So,
Rom Space Knight number 11.
oh hell yeah.
Nice. Nice.
All we need now is some Micronauts, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
I think I got Micronauts in my last box.
Oh, bet. Nice. That's cool.
Jack Kirby's New Gods number 3.
Oh, yeah. Kirby's my favorite, man. Nice. That's a cool one.
Marvel Super Action starring Captain America number 10.
Ooh, yep, the Trapster. With
The
his
Trapster, yeah.
All right, so I just want to aside. So my favorite Captain America stuff is when he's basically just fighting some guy with whatever special weapon he is. And I mean, like there's one where he fights the machete, who's just a guy who's really good with machetes.
Yeah,
It's a martial arts like comic book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. I love that stuff so much.
All right. This is Marvel 2-in-1 Thing and Jocasta.
Ooh, that
Looks like they're fighting Ultron.
That those 2-in-1s, usually the Thing was always the main guy in those.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of like the Brave and the Bold with Batman and that type of thing. It was always Batman and somebody in the Brave and the Bold, and the 2-in-1 was always the Thing.
So this must be a reprint, this is Marvel Tales starring Spider-Man number 146, and this is the first appearance of Electro.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that is a reprint.
And then our 200th issue. Oh, this one was misstapled. The staple's in a weird place. Our 200th issue, double size, double the action, double the paros, the world's greatest comic magazine. This is Fantastic Four number 200.
Nice.
This is the Doctor Doom there. So, more outer space action with the Green Lantern Corps. This is Green Lantern number 163.
Ooh.
Oh, look, it's the Lensman.
Hal Jordan era. This one is in plastic. It's a collector's edition, allegedly. It's collector's edition includes The Cry of the Huntress #6, special moving cover, second reversible cover, covers by Kelly Jones and Ed Hennigan, Dick Giordano, exclusive poster by Mike Zeck. This is Robin 3.
Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna be upfront here. I love buying comic books just for their covers. I do not like the special covers and all that stuff. You should get them all. Never liked that part of the hobby. But like I have like Doom Patrol covers that are just bought because the cover was amazing. I didn't even
Yeah.
follow Doom Patrol. I mean, I like them better now, but yeah, I love great covers. I love the great art, but the whole special edition, shiny.
Multiple covers, you
Okay.
know.
And then, given what's in the news lately, this is last but definitely not least. It was a free giveaway. Spider-Man and Power Pack. This is this was sponsored by the International Association of Direct Distributors and your local comic retailer, produced in cooperation with the National Committee for Prevention of Child Abuse.
Wow.
So you can see the NEA logo at the bottom. It's
Now remind me that weren't those like the Fantastic Four kids?
yeah.
No, were
Well,
they?
Franklin Richards was one of them,
Okay.
but the rest aren't. They're like a group of mutant kids, or
Like
whatever.
really powerful children.
Children of the Elite.
Yeah.
Dear reader, the stories you're about to read may seem familiar to you. They are about children who have been forced or tricked or conned by an older person into touch or sexual contact. This is called child sexual abuse. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm impressed. I'm like, you guys, I mean, I feel like you couldn't go there thinking like, well, this will be a great, that was sort of a they were taking there. So,
Okay. So that was the haul this time. I think it's worth it for like $1 to $2 per comic there.
yeah.
Like there's some in there that are probably actually, like, if I go and find them on eBay, there's probably one or two in there that could cover the cost of the whole thing,
Mhm.
Well, to me, the best idea, that to me the coolest thing would be if you could read them, find the things that you really dug, then turn around and somehow basically pass them on for something close to what you paid for them, or maybe even more, a little less, and just repeat the cycle, because the things you're going to dig may be totally different than what somebody else is going to dig. I mean, like I have like again, for the covers, I have like the comic book about a guy, a trucker with mental telepathy that can control his truck. The cover was I have two that I bought just for the covers. I only got those out of like the dollar bin because that's where they ended up, right?
Mhm.
But
US one? Was it US one?
Yes, it was.
I remember that comic. Yeah. I remember that comic.
I mean, it makes perfect. And the thing is, it's like it's a reflection because what was on the television when that came out, or BGM the Bear.
Yeah.
Well, I liked the retro throwback to that, the Tim Truman comic you let me read at one point in time. I forget what it's called. It was about like a trucker that like in the future that did the whole Pacific Rim.
Yes,
Like,
yeah, I remember
and
that.
like he had like it would basically inject him with like meth or whatever in his neck to keep him awake, and like
Stay awake the whole time.
And he was like a martial
Yeah.
artist. And like, yeah, that was a good comic. I forget what that was called, but that was
that's worth
awesome.
finding again. I know I still have that, man.
It was called something like Dragon Chang or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Now that we killed half the show just opening a blind comic box, that might get cut out of here.
I do want to I want to ask a question that's related. So so Hulk is going on, and it's on like that's what is it? It's not the demonic Hulk, the infernal Hulk, right? And of course, we have a huge well of monster related stuff in comic books, right? And even
Sure.
things that are almost almost but not quite, or sometimes directly, Frankensteinian, whatever. So, of course, Solomon Grundy, they've taken a turn with the Hulk where it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not just tough. You can chop my head off and I'm still alive. I mean, they've just gone all in on some of that stuff. And I'm trying to remember there was a recent not that recent, but in the past 5 years or whatever, they did a I think it's Werewolf by Night. Um, and I saw that, watched that. I'm like, man, Eric would totally dig this. They did that. Marvel Disney did that. And of course, I'm like, they're
Yeah.
not going to do anything else with it, but it was really cool while it lasted because, of course, it was a Man Thing who showed up pretty much at the end.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, but that was like the whole thing. I'm like, wow, the flavor on this, mwah, very good. Very good.
Awesome. All right. Well, if we ever do a series on the Wolfman, we might hit that. Um, so this film came out in 1981, so I'm going to give you guys a background of the year. Starting in 1980, August 1st of 1980, Vigdis Finnbogadr. I'm probably going to pronounce
Gesundheit.
everything foreign. I'm going
Ex-
to
Excuse me, what?
mispronounce, but anyway, whoever she is, Vigdis Finnbogadr becomes the fourth president of Iceland
Noise.
and the world's first democratically elected female president.
Wow.
It
Wow.
wasn't Bjork. You sure it wasn't Bjork?
No, she's Goodman's daughter or some other daughter.
Wow, I was
Oh,
surprised it wasn't somebody in India because wasn't there a
yeah, Indira Gandhi.
yeah,
So she was probably shortly after this.
okay.
September 5th, the Gotthard Road Tunnel opens in Switzerland. It's the world's longest highway tunnel at 16.3 kilometers, which is 10.1 miles,
Oh.
stretching from Guschenen to Airolo beneath the Goddard Pass. Again, mangling
Areola,
these,
what?
I'm
You're
sure.
you're doing great. You're doing great.
October 20th, October 20th, Greece joins NATO. Uh, November 4th, Ronald Reagan wins the U.S. presidential election in a landslide victory.
Punk rock has never been greater.
December 8th, John Lennon is murdered.
Hmm.
Then in January of 1981, January 21st, the first DeLorean comes off the production line. February 17th, Paris Hilton is born in New York City. March 30th, there's the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan.
Wow, I forgot
Speaking of
that
punk
happened.
rock,
I love you, Jodie Foster.
Oh God.
Jodie Foster's Army. All right. Speaking of punk rock, April 11th, the Brixton riot in London breaks out
Nice.
after UK police institute stop and search primarily black youth.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think they'd learn not to do that in places that always leads to a riot. But all right, May 11th, Bob Marley dies of cancer.
Boo.
June 27th, the first paintball game is played in Henniker, New Hampshire. That's not far from where I am right now.
Huh. That's crazy.
Mm.
Like, who came up with that?
And then July 27th, Kyoufu Densetsu Kaiki Frankenstein is released in Japan. It would not be released in the US until 1984. I don't have a lot of production notes on this, but what I will say is that it purports to be based on the Marvel Comics Monster of Frankenstein. After a handful of appearances dating all the way back to when Marvel was known as Atlas Comics, the Monster of Frankenstein was the first ongoing series. It started with issues 1 through 5, which was sort of a retelling of the Mary Shelley story. I read the first 2 issues. It is awesome. It is one of the best. It is one of my favorite. I think is one of the best versions of, most interesting, exciting versions of the Frankenstein tale in any medium. And then from issues 6 to 18, it went from 1973 to 1975. it was known as just the Frankenstein monster. Originally, as I said, it was a 3-issue retelling of the original novel, and then several more issues. The story continued into the 1890s until he was placed in suspended animation and revived in modern times. They did the Captain America trick with him, right? Where he's
Yeah, yeah.
Roy Thomas, who was we've talked about when we talked about Conan on the show and stuff like that. He had been working with Dick Giordano on adapting Bram Stoker's Dracula for the horror comic magazine Vampire Tales. I reviewed that in a previous episode when we were doing Dracula. He was eager to do Frankenstein, but he didn't have the time, so he turned it over to Gary Friedrich, who he said did a fine job with it. At that time, Marvel was cranking out a bunch of monster mags and introducing characters like Werewolf by Night and Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
His only instruction from Marvel was make sure it looked dissimilar to the Universal version of Frankenstein.
Mm.
We don't want to get sued.
Yep.
All right, so I have to ask a question here.
Yeah.
So the fur vest, is this where that originated?
Yep.
Yes. He kills a bear.
Yeah.
He kills a bear and eats it and uses its hide to be a fur vest.
Because that's very iconic, and like, I'm like, where? Oh yeah, there's that, and I'm like, okay. It's funny because I'm looking at some of the covers here, and I know that it's basically it's a very Incredible Hulk wandering monster story, but like there's lots of like fallen maidens and stuff like that, and it kind of and then it kind of gives me sort of almost a Conan vibes.
Yeah.
This giant ripped guy fighting off people, and
Yeah.
got like a woman in one arm, and a tragic hero, of course.
Yeah. All I can say is I'm going to read the whole series because the first 2 issues rocked.
Okay.
And then the only other note I have about this is that the English voice actor for Frankenstein is Richard Epcar, who would go on to do numerous anime and video game voices. He is best known as Raiden in the Mortal Kombat series and the Joker in the Batman video games.
Nice.
So
Nice.
he's pretty.
Do you know anything about the studio that put this out? Like, did they do other titles?
I do not know.
I watched a lot of 80s anime. Like I watched Star Blazers or I'm sorry, Battleship Yamamoto.
Oh hell yeah!
Robotech, Ninja Scroll, Fist of the
Yeah.
North Star. And I really enjoyed this one. This one was really cool.
So this was put up by Toei Animation.
Mm-hmm.
They're currently doing One Piece.
Nice.
Wow.
They did Devilman.
I saw that one. I saw that one too. Yeah.
Cutie Honey.
Mm-mm.
Galaxy Express 999. I saw that. Well, Dragon Ball.
All 10,000 episodes.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball Z. There's just tons and tons and tons of stuff that they've done. So probably you've seen something. Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Saw Sailor Moon. For scientific purposes.
Yeah. I guess the version of Frankenstein was licensed to them by Marvel.
Okay.
Having read the Marvel, I don't think it resembles the Marvel version of Frankenstein like at all. But
Well, yeah.
I think they thought that they were doing that. So that's all I got on the production notes.
We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go!
There's some very humble things going on. It's very pastoral scenes, and I want to suggest people make a very basic bread, super basic, incredibly easy. Okay,
This is not going to be a sourdough starter business.
it's not going to be a sour. I ain't got no time for that. I can't keep that alive. Look, if it's a creature that doesn't make noise, I'm gonna forget about it. So that's why I've killed so many sourdough starters. I'm like, nah. If you feel the need, if you can get a hold of them, you just sub that in, but it's not necessary. This is a very basic thing. And I will point out that by the time of when this was set, most of the time you could just go down to your local brewer or your baker and get a little bit of basically they call it barm, and that will work just as well. All right.
Barm,
Yeah, barm.
Barm, like
Yeah.
barn with an M.
Barm.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't
Hey
know.
man, you got some barm?
It's basically it's like, oh yeah, it's just filled with well, I don't know, how can I put this? When the yeast gets in with the flour and just goes to town, yeah, it's gonna keep on reproducing, and there'll be this ooky gook. Now, I've never really experienced it myself, except for whatever I make, but it's
Is that
called
a
barm.
scientific term?
Yes, not the
Ookie
ooky
gook.
part, but the gook part.
Gook. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
So this
So
is just basically sludge that they have to clean out anyway, and they're like, okay, just
Right.
kind of, yeah. I mean, and that's true of even of like, I mean, this is, I mean, not the grossing by, yeah,
there's gross sludge. Sell it.
that's right. I mean,
let's bag that up.
we cultivate these bacteria, well, actually, they're not bacteria, but whatever. We cultivate yeast, feed it, propagate it, then we kill it after it's done its work for us, and we eat its dead corpses because it's delicious. So, all right. So, people who cook might know about Mark Bittman. He popularized a no-knead bread. We probably touched on this before because I bake bread, and I basically am inspired by this recipe. It's super simple. I'm not even going to give you all I'm going to give you is the ingredients and tell you to throw them in a pot. So here we go. 4 cups of all-purpose flour, bread flour, a half a teaspoon of yeast. That's it. 2 teaspoons of salt. And actually, there's more, but I wouldn't even bother with any of those. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sugar and water.
Yeah, 2 cups of water. Okay, that's it. Mix all that together with a wooden spoon. It's probably gonna get a little sticky. If you have a Danish whisk, then you don't need me to tell you how to make bread. But like that's the perfect tool for it. But anyway, you mix it all together and you let it rise overnight. You cover it with something so whatever won't land on it, and you let it rise overnight. The next day, you don't need to knead it. You don't need to punch it down. You just form it into a ball and you throw it into a closed container that can fit in the oven. Traditionally, quote unquote, it's going to be Dutch oven, right? But anything that's oven safe that will fit in the oven, you throw it in there. I use hotel pans because they're stainless steel. They have a stainless steel lid and they're oven safe. But you put it in there, 400 degrees, about 30 minutes, you have some bread. What if you mess it up and it's kind of bad, but it's really hard to mess up, honestly. It comes out great. But if you mess it up and it's kind of bad, then you will still be in the spirit of the show because we can talk about that. But like, yeah, it wasn't great bread, but it was the one thing where I'm like, oh, they're sharing it, you're eating it. It's very significant for this particular scene. So that's why I decided that one.
In an ill-fated attempt to harness the forces of nature, Dr. Frankenstein creates the Frankenstein monster.
Yes!
Mary Shelley's bizarre creature comes to life in this fabulous animated feature of the gruesome monster who tries to live in the human world. A horrible monster pitted against a prejudiced people. This is the timeless horror classic of Frankenstein.
Okay, let's get into this. This is 1860 Frankenstein, and in this show, the hunchback assistant. I don't know, was he hunchback?
No, not really.
Not.
He just slouched a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, I think his name is Zuckel in this. Zuckel?
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the two of them create Frankenstein's monster. So right away, I have to stop and ask Will, what did you think of the creation scene?
Well, I mean, as these things go, it's not really fair because it's animated. So they can do so much more. So I thought they brought it up to a nice level. They could have done even more, but that really wasn't the point. This sort of show kind of hit the ground running on that point. I mean, it went right back past that pretty quickly. And I liked it. Yeah.
One thing it did have, like Rocky Horror, like
Yes.
the Young Frankenstein,
The
like some of the
Rocky.
other ones we've seen before, there was the first switch, and then
Yes.
the second switch, and then the third switch.
Now I feel like we need to do that sometime. I mean, I'm not sure where we're going to get the body, but I can take care of the electrical part. Just saying.
I mean, you can have your yeast and your water and your flour or whatever, but not until you hit that,
You need that third switch to really bring it home, man.
Okay, real talk. That is the origin of panko. Is bread made by running electrical current through it. Basically.
Why aren't you doing that? You should be doing this. Flower pot pizza, forget that. Like
yeah,
cooking with electricity.
You're
That's
talking
what
about
you should be doing.
ass bread, and you can like you can make electrified peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Is what you're telling me? What the hell?
And then the other part is like I don't know if you guys have ever seen a pickle burner.
I was gonna say pickles that light up. Like
yes,
yeah.
when you who was it? Was it Spin who actually ate the pickle after we ran the current through it? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, that sounds like something he would do. Anyway, all right. So back into this. What's different about this is that after the initial creation scene and then he's horrified, the monster like falls off a cliff and life goes on, but then we get this police inspector, Belbo, something like that.
Yeah, aka Columbo.
All right.
Oh yeah, and by the way,
yeah, they totally got it from Columbo, although he's bald in this.
I want to show you something. Okay, but before we move on, key to this is we see the doctor's character from the get-go. He's like,
oh, what a piece of shit he is.
What a piece of shit he is. He's like, he tells his assistant, you take care of this, and he takes off running. He leaves him to deal with the monster.
Yeah,
the gun and leaves him to deal with the monster.
Here's this gun. I'm gonna take care of you, buddy. Don't you'll be compensated. Now go deal with that. I'll see you later.
Yeah, in the process, he does deal with it, but like the monster gets a hold of him, and it turns out we find out later means him horribly. But yeah.
Yes,
I thought this was going to be like a kiddie version of Frankenstein, and then when I saw the castle at the beginning, I'm like, okay, even if it's for kids, that's already cooler than Castle Grayskull. So okay, let's see where they go with this, and then like the lightning and everything, and then later this inspector is investigating. There's like cattle mutilations and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, we went all the way to cattle mutilations in the first 5 minutes of this thing.
Well, I mean, in fairness, it is for kids. It's just the Japanese tend to have a different idea of what's appropriate for kids. Just saying.
And it was also 1981.
That's fair. I mean, we saw
it was the Wild West back then, man.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I would say, I mean, even before then. I mean, you guys ever see like the original Bad News Bears?
Oh yeah.
With bananas. That was not appropriate, but we watched it.
I thought it was great. Reminded me a lot of the new Thunderbolts movie.
Ooh.
All right. So rapidly we go from killing a bird to killing a dog to killing a horse. It has to be one of the most violent versions of this story I've ever seen.
Yeah. Pretty grisly, yeah.
The whole detective angle is a little reminiscent of Frankenstein, the True Story that we did earlier. So I thought that was interesting, including Elizabeth covering for him.
Oh yeah.
And the ball/party scene where like shows up.
They hit a lot of the beats. I mean, we have We have the blind grandfather. We have I mean, they hit so many of these beats that were I mean, and I think I'm going to say in a great way. In a Okay, so you know how comics, will tell the same story over and over again, right? And
Hmm.
sometimes that's great because it's like, wow, okay, this is the best version of the origin story I've ever heard, or this is the best version of blah blah that I ever heard. It's like whatever it is, it's a different telling. And when I used to get upset about it, or think I'm like maybe that's lesser, I was like, oh wait a second, yeah, you know how many times they do Shakespeare, and all they do is change the sets, Okay, so
Yeah.
We don't need to go too in depth into things, but I will say that like this has a weird curveball in the third act where it goes all Christian on us. And like he like
yeah.
gets
Yeah.
shot in the hand
Yeah.
and he goes into a church and she's got a crucifix and I'm like, did they need more funding and have to go to like some Christian group for funding? Because it's sudden like it comes out of nowhere. It's not in the first 2/3 of the film, and then
Right.
suddenly
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Well,
suddenly they're like spouting Christian dogma and stuff.
Right.
well, they do go. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not unusual, but for these movies, but they do talk about him, about Frankenstein defying God and playing God, and like it'll come to a bad end. That's as
Hmm.
soon as we, from the very start when we get to see that, Frankenstein's, you know, basically his mentor was his father-in-law, but like they had a falling out over his interests, and he
Right.
not to do that. So we see that almost it's sort of foreshadowed, but man, they went in hard about that.
Yeah. And interestingly, even in the Victorian period, in Mary Shelley's original novel, I don't recall there being any references to Christianity or the Bible or anything like that. There is mentions of God, a couple of mentions of God, especially given that, it's
Well, in the
subtitles.
context of the story, I
Yeah,
mean,
the
that's
modern
gonna
playing
come up.
God, but not really very much of that even. But what there is a definite Christian point of view of like, you know, he's he's uh he's soulless. Like there's
Mm,
this idea that he doesn't have a soul and that's why he
Right.
doesn't know that thou shalt not kill. He doesn't know that that's bad, right? There
right.
or doesn't have any sort of remorse about it. You
I'm
know,
sure the English thought the same thing about the Aborigines when they first met them. You know.
Maybe not when they first met them, but when they realized, oh wait, yeah, this is gonna be, yeah, it'd be much more useful if these people were not people.
Yeah. Well, let's just not refer to them as people anymore.
I
Yeah.
think originally there was
Eh.
a lot of like talk of like noble savages where it's like they never fell from grace and stuff like
Right,
that,
right.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And then
and
it's
then
like,
they're like,
oh, they're
oh, they
ignoble
got
fellas.
gold.
Oh, right.
Yes, they are damned and evil and must
Yeah,
be
yeah.
destroyed.
The Higgins and all the stuff. Yeah. No, let's get rid of them now.
Oh
Uh,
man, if you really want to, the the use of a moral crusade to get what you want, like I always thought the Americans were just terrible and the English were terrible, and then I didn't know anything about the Belgians, and then I found out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, those guys,
Yeah.
because they were like, no, we gotta save these people from the slavers, which
Yeah.
there were slavers, and then they was like, well, they're not in slavery. Though I think some of them would like to go back to that because it's just as bad
Yeah.
or worse. Yeah, no, the
Right.
belt blow my mind. I'm like, wow. I thought you just guys made nice chocolate, but apparently you were kind of horrible. So,
Yeah.
we all have our pasts.
all right.
But anyway, we're way off topic. But let's get back on.
Well, I'm not sure where to jump back in on this. I skipped all the way to the final reel when I talked about the Christianity thing. So, really, I don't have too much more in my notes about this. In this one, Emily's the one that shoots the creature at one point.
Right.
Okay,
Because
Oh,
that's what God would want her to do.
this does have a monster battle of the week.
it does.
Monster battle of the week. And this does come from the Marvel comic Frankenstein versus the bear. That was in this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was. That's right. Okay, so.
Okay, so guys, this is something I noticed about this is okay. There's a big part of his they show him just being driven by basic needs like hunger, right? He's not. He's never. They
Right.
don't really show him being, malicious. Even when people are attacking him, he's trying not to. But like, he does messing people up. But like, this is something we've seen in the other Japanese Frankenstein movies we watched in this series. This creature that's just driven by hunger. It's very simple. Like a baby. And then, of course, there is the little person, giant monster dynamic. Wherever that came
Hmm.
from, it's definitely, it's very Japanese. From I've gotten like I should probably not say it's very Japanese because my idea of what is Japanese is very narrow. I don't have a very good idea, but that's where I get that dynamic from. Where I'm like, yes, there's a giant monster who ultimately answers to this tiny, person, a little person who's like their moral guidance and tells us like, "Come, Godzilla, help us." And I love that. I love the seeing that take on it. The firearms were baffling. They None of them could hit him. The thing is, they showed that when he got hit, he was hurt, but like they kept on having him miss, and I was like, what?
Well, he took a bullet through the hand.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but like
And
most of they shot at him so many times.
well, I mean, it's 1860. I mean,
Yeah, they're basically dealing with
not
black
great
powder
guns.
weapons.
Yeah,
It's
but to look at the guns, like the gun he gives him in the beginning is a revolver.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess.
I
Okay,
mean,
we
yeah,
are Americans though, so we might be
Yeah.
a little bit.
well, even in the US, we're talking, what really jump started the firearms industry is the Civil War.
Sure.
This is only 1860, so they're still dealing with the same kind of weapons that pirates have been using for 300 years.
Yeah.
It's not like they're high tech.
Right.
Yeah, so but we are Americans, so that might be why I'm like, well, what the hell's with you? Y'all can't shoot for nothing. What's wrong with you? But yeah, I love the addition of our Columbo professor. I love like okay, so here's a little note like when Franken, that's what they call him, right?
Yeah,
Franken,
Franken.
yeah.
When Franken encounters the housekeeper who never gets her own name, they just say Miss Housekeeper. But like when he encounters her on the road, because she's smart enough to be like, this stuff is crazy, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But she unfortunately he encounters her on the road, right? And he doesn't attack her. He goes after her packages because he's looking for food. And he doesn't attack her, but she dies from fright.
Right.
And
Mhm.
I like again, always with the innocence and stuff. And we do have the the grandfather who's like, no, don't attack him. Don't all the confusion and back and forth. The whole end part where it's like, you killed him. The monster. No, where even the part where even the little girl's like, no, Franken, you betrayed me, because everybody's telling her, no, he killed your mom, he killed your grandfather, he
Right.
tricked you, right? And he's just like, no, I didn't do. All of that. I honestly can say this was one of the most tragic versions.
Oh my God, it's like an opera. Like
it's like
Victor
Shakespeare.
Frankenstein
Everybody
shoots himself
dies.
at the end,
Right? Oh, that was like I'm like, all this. That guy was such a piece of shit.
in front of his daughter. Like,
we have seen so many terrible people, so versions of the doctor who are just self-serving and this guy was probably the worst. He just was devoid of any sense of responsibility, and even when he was quote trying to take responsibility, he didn't. He just made everything worse. Terrible, terrible.
I mean, also the assistant, like, blackmailed him and like all sorts of stuff.
I was gonna bring that up too. That like
Yeah.
the plot twist is Franken didn't kill any of the animals. It was the assistant making it look like
Yeah.
he had did it, and even went as far as what with the projection. So
Yeah.
very Scooby-Doo
Scooby-Doo
vibe. Gonna project the Frankenstein shadow and make it scare him,
to the assistant, he lost his eye to Frankenstein.
Right.
So to Franken, that is, the monster.
Yeah, but he was trying to kill him.
Right. And unjustifiably, he's like, you know who I'm mad at? the doctor. I need
Yeah.
money from the doctor because that guy, that you were the one who sent me to go kill it, do your dirty work, and look what happened to me. And he kept on
Yeah.
telling him too, which was awesome. And he's like, and he.
Hmm.
There's a part where he goes, where he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna work. You refuse to pay me, fine." And he goes and he approaches the little girl. Your dad did something terrible. You should ask him about it. Look at my eye. And I mean,
Yeah.
and it's very effective. I honestly, I felt like script wise, this was really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good story.
What I like about this is it is totally the Frankenstein story, but it totally has different twists and stuff that like it has stuff in it that none of the others do that still makes sense with the story. Like,
Right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I really, it's one of those things where I'm like, man, I wish somebody who was, way more smarter and motivated than me would be like, oh, this is amazing. This is a great storyline. This is a great plot that they put together because there is. It's like it. I think it adds to the canon. That's it. That sounds very pretentious. It adds
Sure.
to the canon.
I
Very
will
good,
say,
yes.
as anime goes, it might be hard going for people who have been raised on newer anime because it's crude and early anime. So the
Absolutely.
art is not up to modern anime standards, you know.
No.
But
It's not made by a computer.
overall, I got to give it a thumbs up. What do you guys say?
Oh, I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. I thought
Absolutely.
really
Thumb
good.
up, man. It was
It
good.
was, I thought it really gelled and yeah, and added a lot. And I thought it was like you. I thought it was going to be like, oh, it's going to be some kid stuff, or it's going to be super. Sometimes I'm watching. It could be French animation or any other kind, and they just go places where I'm like, this must be make sense to them.
To other cultures.
Right. It happens a lot when I'm watching, especially older anime. But like, I'm like, why? What just happened? I mean, we were talking about, we were talking about Robotech earlier, and if you're a fan, you probably realize that what we got as Robotech was made way more sense than the stuff that they pulled it from to begin with.
Sure. Sure.
It was three completely different series that they stitched together.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I think it was better than this source material probably.
Well, if you watch Space Battleship Yamamoto, I watched it as a kid when it was Star Blazers on TV.
Yes.
All right. And but they never, ever, ever showed you the whole thing from start to finish.
Mhm.
And a lot, people died. Like at one point, there's a scene where half one of the deck plating blows out and people just get sucked out into space.
Yeah, that's true.
You
They kind
know?
of cut it off, but that's one of the things I remember from it, especially was that wow, this is like serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will never forget. There's the one where there's these two aliens scooting along and there's the cruisers in the ship, and they're like, and then suddenly the Argo comes out of warp behind him. It's like, and the guy looks like, it's the Argo, and the other guy says the Argo, and then they're just destroyed on the hull of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And inside the Argo is like, what was that?
What was that?
What was that? And then
Speed bump.
It has this is why, in my opinion, it has such an edge over American animation at that time.
Absolutely.
Not the art, which a lot of people say, but for me, it's the story because I remember Robotech used to be on back to back with G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe is about a fight. It's about a war, and nobody ever dies in G.I. Joe.
Right.
And I'm like, and then Robotech, people main characters would disappear partway through.
Man.
Yeah, and you're where? But they never showed it to you because kids show.
Okay. Anyway, we've sort of gotten sidetracked, but basically we have all come to an agreement that this animated version of Frankenstein is worth your time.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So I'm going to wrap this up. If you have seen this, let us know what you think. You can find us on Facebook, or you can write to us at GC8podcast, letter G, letter C, number 8, podcast@gmail.com. Basically, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Jason, do you have anything to plug still, or is everything over with?
I'm retired.
You're retired.
I'm retired.
Well, we're gonna
I
have
got nothing.
If you're retired from that, we're gonna have you on this show a whole lot more.
I mean,
have said that.
I mean, do I have to watch more Frankenstein movies?
Oh yeah. Okay. Until next time, this is Eric.
And this is Will.
I'm Jason.
Signing off.
I'm Jason.
I was gonna introduce you, but that's fine.
I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. I was excited. I'm sorry.